I entered the nightclub bathroom with him, and he was strikingly confident. I was utterly in love with it. I finally found the courage to discuss my marital struggles with you. This story reveals how I discovered the key to saving my marriage. I am Gianna. I'm 30 and married to Charles. My husband is 38, and we've shared nearly 12 years of marriage. Like countless others, our marriage is in crisis. We have a little one together. After our last child was born, everything fell apart. Sleep-deprived, broke, and worn out from caring for the little one, we are utterly drained. At first, our love was deep, and the child's arrival filled our lives with joy. Yet, as time passed, everything shifted. My husband is working harder to manage the rising costs. Our once passionate intimacy has dwindled to infrequent, emotionless encounters. Fights erupted often, arguments stretched on endlessly. Charles said I was always tired and moody, but I felt overwhelmed by the house and our son without his support. Frustration mounted, and slowly, we became distant. Communication vanished, and time apart dimmed the spark of our marriage. I chose to add some excitement to the relationship in hopes of finding a solution. I ended up with toys, lingerie, and costumes. One day, I persuaded Charles to join me at a toy store just for us. We both had a thrilling new experience. We entered a space. We purchased a variety of items, from toys to nurse and police officer costumes. That day, we felt alive again, savoring the joy of being together. In those early weeks, we embraced the newness and had a blast. The flame was reignited. One night, I wore a new lingerie set, and Charles looked like the happiest man alive. We explored new ways to bring excitement to our relationship. We laughed, and for a fleeting moment, it felt like everything was right again. The excitement faded quickly. We quickly settled back into our rhythm. The toys lay abandoned in the dark closet, while the lingerie remained untouched, a silent testament to lost moments. We seldom connected, and keeping our intimacy alive felt more challenging each day. My husband grew distant once more, and frustration consumed me. I kept pushing forward. We loved each other, deep down. Charles was making an effort too. He refused to be like those women who play the victim and use excuses to betray trust. I wanted to tackle that issue side by side. I kept searching for ways to reignite our passion. I made an effort to be more loving, opened up about our emotions, and sought ways to strengthen our bond. We agreed to go out every weekend to shake things up. At first, we filled our nights with friends at bars and clubs. We aimed to revive the joy and playfulness we once shared. Being with others, sharing laughter and vibrant conversations eased our stress and offered fresh perspectives. In the bars, we danced and drank, escaping our daily struggles for a few precious hours. In the beginning, the nightclubs were alive with my dancing. Dancing has always been my passion, a joy shared with friends on the floor. The music pulsed through me, releasing my worries and fears. I caught my husband watching me from a distance while I was having fun. Charles chose to keep his distance, observing the scene while nursing his drink. He never danced well, but it didn't matter to me. What mattered most was our togetherness, sharing the same space, even if apart. He was at ease, reveling in the atmosphere, even without dancing with me. I felt no fear of jealousy or conflict. Dancing alone with friends felt liberating, yet I feared it might create rifts among us. After the party, I asked him if I could dance solo or with my friends. Feeling a bit nervous, I asked, "Honey, are you all right with me dancing solo or with my friends?" "I hope that doesn't trouble you." Charles smiled at me and said, "I don't mind, honey. Your joy brings me happiness." "Your happiness brings me joy." His response lifted a heavy weight off my shoulders. His enjoyment of my happiness eased my worries about being left out. This fueled our determination to seek out the spark that felt like it was slipping away. Since we started going out every weekend, my friends couldn't always make it, and my husband wasn't really into dancing. I began to dance alone, surrounded by the crowd. The dance floor was my escape, a place to let go and enjoy without fear of judgment. The music wrapped around me, igniting my spirit as my husband observed from a distance, filled with admiration. Even without his active participation, I found comfort in the moment. On a joyful night, a guy came up and danced with me. His back was turned. I assumed it was my husband, never glancing back. I danced harder, hips shaking, lost in the music and the moment. When the music shifted and I glanced over, it hit me, it wasn't my husband. A stranger caught me off guard, leaving me unsettled and shocked. Honestly, he was incredibly attractive, young, tall, and impressively strong. I was stunned when I discovered it wasn't my husband. I apologized swiftly, sharing my confusion. He apologized, expressing regret for any trouble caused. I returned to my husband's table, where he observed everything from a distance. I was embarrassed, yet I forced myself to act normal. As I approached the table, fear gripped me. Would my husband confront me? To my astonishment, he asked if I was enjoying the dance and encouraged me to dance with others, admitting he preferred to stay off the floor. He urged me to ask the guy for another song, leaving me relieved yet confused. I worried it might spark a big fight, yet he remained calm. I smiled and returned to the dance. I approached the guy I was dancing with and joined him once more on the dance floor. As the music surged and the lyrics intensified, our dance grew deeply intimate. My husband watched from a distance, his gaze filled with longing and intrigue. It awakened a longing for desire and dominance I had never felt before. Watching him desire me as I danced for another ignited a thrilling mix of excitement and anxiety within me. I thanked the guy after our dance and returned to my husband's side. He was anxious and the air was thick with tension. We were drinking, and the alcohol hit hard and fast. As soon as I arrived, he immediately asked if I had enjoyed dancing with someone else. I took my time to think, but in the end, I said yes, I truly had. I asked my husband if he enjoyed seeing me dance with another man. He said yes, he truly enjoyed it. Suddenly, he offered me a deal. He offered me a kiss if I wanted it. He promised it was only for one night with no repercussions. My husband's interest made the idea feel possible. His proposition, fueled by alcohol and the night's thrill, sparked my intrigue. My husband promised to stay at the table, watching from a distance. An overwhelming desire pulled me back to him. Our conversations deepened, and the chemistry was undeniable. Every word and touch deepened the desire that blossomed over time. My attraction to him deepened, urging me to elevate our connection. I wanted to be alone with him, so I asked him to join me in the bathroom. I need to talk somewhere private. He was taken aback and trailed behind me. I glanced around, ensuring no one was watching as we approached the bathroom. I seized him, driven by a surge of longing, and kissed him fiercely. The tension was electric, and I felt a surge of power as my husband watched from afar. He was concealed. He couldn't ignore the situation. I led him into the bathroom while my husband stood outside, watching like a bystander. I finally grasped my husband's vision and felt his excitement for the idea. The bathroom buzzed with tension. We surrendered to our desires, unrestrained. My husband stood outside, his excitement growing with every sound from the bathroom. He overheard and sensed the intensity of the moment. This only heightened the intensity of our experience. I was caught up in the excitement of the moment. Moments later, he exited the bathroom, and I, slightly breathless, followed suit. Just as I was about to escape, my husband yanked me back into the bathroom. He was overwhelmed by the moment and its intensity. In that tiny space, we lost ourselves in a wild, passionate embrace. Nothing had ever felt so intense. The blend of longing and ambience took our breath away. I was deeply immersed in the emotions of the experience. Before we dive in, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. We returned home, laughter echoing, energy surging within us. My husband appeared just as joyful as I felt. He asked if I had enjoyed the idea and the experience. I replied truthfully, saying it was amazing and I couldn't wait to do it again. He smiled, joy and satisfaction shining through, sharing that the experience was fantastic. In the car, we began to discuss what had occurred. To my astonishment, he revealed his true feelings. He confessed a hidden longing to see me with other men, a truth he never dared to share. He feared our conflict would lead to a breakup. That confession deepened our bond, transforming the night into something unforgettable. That night changed everything. We chose to dive deeper into our desire. We discovered a fresh perspective on our relationship. We found joy in socializing and exploring new experiences together. These moments reignited our love and saved our marriage, infusing our life together with fresh energy and excitement. This newfound clarity and liberation transformed our relationship profoundly. Couples should look to us as a model. Communicate honestly and find solutions together, rather than betraying the one you love over minor issues. Understanding and innovating together can transform and strengthen your marriage. Partnership and respect are vital. Confronting challenges side by side, finding solutions that uplift us both, rather than turning to betrayal and disrespect. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Share your thoughts on this story. Until next time.